Speak to My Heart Life Coaching presents the Door to Expansion webcast. Your host, Mar Anthony Hubbard. Co-host, Stephanie Hollins Passmore. Prepare your ears to listen and your heart to receive. As you take in words that change lives, renew hearts, and open minds.
Hey, veterans qualify for tax-free disability compensation. Did you know you may receive higher payments if you have a dependent spouse, children, or parents? Did you know your disability rating may open the door to other VA benefits? Live life after service to the fullest with benefits you may have earned for your service and sacrifice. If your disability was caused by or aggravated during active military service, no matter when or where you serve, you may be eligible for VA benefits that can enhance your independence and help you care for your family. Compensation amounts vary. 0% is for disabilities that are service-connected but are not severe enough to warrant compensation. If your disability evaluation is less than 100%, but your service-connected disabilities prevent gainful employment, then you may be entitled to compensation at the 100% level. If your disability limits your mobility, you may qualify for a payment to buy or modify a vehicle to get around easier. As a service-disabled veteran, you may be entitled to free health care, employment counseling, and other benefits. To start your claim process, go online, visit a VA regional office, or talk to an accredited VA representative. The fastest way to receive a claim decision is to file an e-claim at ebenefits.va.gov. You served with honor. Now let VA serve you. Explore VA today.
All right, good people. How's everybody doing today?
Hey.
So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. This is the Door to Expansion webcast. And today we are in our military transition series. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about VA disability claims. I am a proud recipient of it. And I stand behind my words whenever I say, hey, I am glad that I filed my claim. And I'm getting what since I signed up to join the military, they basically taking care of me, making sure I'm taken care of. So we're gonna get into it a little bit. But before we do that, I am Anthony Hubbard. I am the host of the Door to Expansion webcast, and I am the owner and founder of Speaking My Heart Life Coaching. And I do have my co-host with me today, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hey, good evening. My name is Stephanie Hollins Passmore. Y'all know me. I am a licensed mental health counselor here in the great state of Washington. I am the solo practitioner for the Narrative Shift LLC Counseling and Consultation. And you know what? My role as a therapist, I facilitate healing. And I'm a resource. So I'm glad that we are doing this series helping individuals transition from military to civilian and taking a look at what resources and benefits are available. So, yeah.
And I'll let Miss Sonia introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sonia Wayne Holmes, currently Sonia Jadida, and I'm going to be talking with you about VA disability compensation benefits and how to apply for them and how to make the most of your benefits and using your service-connected disability to open the doors for other benefits that are provided by the VA. I am a subject matter expert and also a recipient of disability compensation as a Navy veteran. I served 14 years, and I can help you discuss with you on how to get compensated for your illnesses or injuries that you sustained while you were on active duty. active duty for training and active duty training also.
So anybody that's watching, if you do have any questions or comments, please type them in the comments, and then we'll get them added, and so you can get some of your answers straight up today. And yeah, so let's go on and get started. So of course, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this question here. So, what is VA disability compensation?
Well, it's a tax-free benefit if you were in for any injuries or illnesses that you received while you were serving on active duty for training or in active duty training. You get paid for basically being hurt during your active duty service.
Okay, so of course we'll discuss the little timelines on here, because I know me being as a service member, I used to see it all the time. I would see people come in and they really wouldn't go to the VA to get any claims done, because they always felt that it was for the people that was retiring and stuff like that. So is there like a certain time limit, or when can people, or who should even go in there and sign up for VA benefits?
Well, you have to be a veteran, of course. But if you are, and then it's just not for retirees, it's for anybody who served on active duty. And the way the Department of Veterans Affairs does these claims is they could be directly related to your military service, and that's a direct claim. It could be an aggravated claim that has your injury that you had prior to the military. Say that you were an athlete in high school or college, or you were in an automobile accident or something, and you healed, you had rehabilitation, and you joined the military. But the way today's military is set up and yesterday's military, there's nothing like the strenuous activity that they put your body through. So those injuries and illnesses have the possibility of becoming aggravated, and the VA will compensate you for those injuries, even though they started before you joined the military. And then there are presumptive injuries, which are related to your exposures to hazardous materials. Started in Vietnam with Agent Orange. And then we have the Camp Lejeune contaminated water situation. And now we have burn pits from Afghanistan, Iraq, and poor quality air exposure. It's mesothelioma related to your military service. You can also get compensated for that. And then there are secondary injuries. If you have a direct injury, say you were injured in combat and you spend time in the hospital, you have surgery, you have rehabilitation on your legs or knees. And once you get out, you have, once you're released from the hospital, you have a period in your life where you're going to favor your injury. Say your broken leg or shrapnel in your heart, you're going to favor those injuries, and you could be putting stress on other appendages. Say your right leg was shattered and it's healed up, but it's still giving you a little pain. You're walking with assistance. You're going to put a lot of stress and weight on your uninjured leg, which could cause a secondary injury, and you can also be compensated for that. There is no timeline also. So pride gets in the way of a lot of these claims, but it's not a handout. It is something that you've earned because of your military service.
What about mental health?
Mental health
measured?
First, I want to address the stigma of mental health and filing a mental health claim. The VA accepts those more frequently than the injuries that you sustain to your body, because you could have served 6 tours in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, not a scratch on you. But the mental impact that being deployed over there and the things that you see and the things that you're required to do to survive, that plays a longer term effect than any physical injury. And because your physical injuries tend to heal, you can have surgery, you can have rehabilitation, you can take painkillers. But as far as your mental health, you have to see someone about that. And getting compensated for your mental health is just as important as getting compensated for your physical injuries.
Good question there, especially in the time and era we dealing with right now. And one of the things I know, and both y'all being veterans, that stigma about going to get treatment, as far as mental treatment while being in the military, most people kind of shy away from that. And now it's kind of hard. Well, I'm not gonna say it's hard, but whenever it's time for you to go and file that claim, people are looking in their records and saying, hey, you're saying you have these issues. So, and I think that's going to be probably for our next week's show that we start talking about how to actually file the claims, and we'll discuss some of that stuff. But for me, especially being on the coaching side and Stephanie being on the counseling side, if you're having issues, please go and get that stuff taken care of. Don't worry about the stigma as far as talking about, hey, I don't want to go down there because of whatever, they gonna take my job. I ain't gonna be able to get this new assignment or anything like that. So I would tell anybody, go down there and make sure you get that stuff checked out. So
yeah, I offer a safe space for active duty here, that don't want to like go and see counselors there on the base. And so, it's just for them to have a safe space to like release and, and not have to be concerned about having a record, but seeking out help. Yeah.
Also, for anyone who's interested, the VA does have a mental health website on va.gov. If you're a transitioning service member or a veteran currently, you can go to the mental health website on va.gov under the healthcare tab and look at some of the FAQs that are available. There are frequently asked questions such as, will seeking mental health care affect my employment? What are the types of illnesses or mental health illnesses that the VA treats? You can click on the plus sign that's located on right next to each question and get the correct answer for each one. So like Stephanie said, we want to get rid of that stigma of mental health being some bad thing, being taboo, because it is not. The way that the world is set up, there's not many people walking around here without something weighing heavily on their mind and their heart. Also, know that your mental health and your physical health interconnect.
Yes.
You have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your mind at the same time, because you can't have one without the other. So get the care that you need. If you file your claims, you definitely are able to receive health care from the VA based on your service. And this is free health care. If you're a disabled veteran, your health care is free for the rest of your life. If you don't want to sign up for VA health care, there are the vet centers that you can reach out to. There is 1 year of post-transition mental health care that's free, even if you don't sign up. And the VA has telehealth capabilities now where you don't have to go in and speak to a therapist or a psychiatrist. You can speak to them just like we're doing right now, telecommunication. They can call you on your phone. You can take your lunch break outside, call them, talk about what's going on with you, get the care that you need.
So, and you brought one thing up, and this is one of the questions that I've heard before. So people that receive 100%, are they considered, or can they still work? And this is just like one of those, let's clear the myth up.
Okay, so yes, absolutely. I'm 100% permanent and total disabled, and I'm employed. Okay, so there are 3 types of disabilities. There's 100%, which is just cut and dry, 100% service-connected disabled. And then there's the 100% UI, which is unemployability, where they restrict your hours of gainful employment. As simple as that. You can work part-time, just like if you were drawing Social Security disability. You're going to have limited hours that you can work. And then there is 100% permanent and total that you can work as many hours and have as much employment as you want, as your heart desires.
just keep on working.
Just keep on working.
So, speaking about the 100%, can you tell us a little bit about the actual the compensation rates?
The compensation rates vary. I think it's 34 something now. We're supposed to be receiving, and don't have this on authority from VA, but I've been keeping up with the news. 8.9% raise coming in January, which raised it to about 36 something.
Miranda said,
Mailbox money. Just keep your eye on it. But there is going to be a cost of living increase coming for disabled veterans, whether you're 10% or 100% also. So if you are already receiving compensation from the VA as far as disability, and you think that's enough, ain't nothing else wrong with me, check your secondary injuries. Make sure that the thing that you're getting compensated for now, the injury or illness, hasn't gotten worse. And that includes your mental health injuries, because, and have this from psychiatrists, VA psychiatrists, the medications that they prescribe to you are only about 15 to 20% of the fix. Okay, there's no 100% fix, but 15 to 20% of the fix. The rest of it is you doing the work. You have to seek help with your mental health providers. Your social workers and your psychiatrists and therapists are there to help you. You have to, when depression, anxiety, PTSD, your MST, grief, there are counselors for all of that. But mental health is the one thing that does not get better. So if you would like to file an increase for your mental health disabilities, you also have that option. You just have to have the medical evidence to link your military service to these disabilities. And that medical evidence is going to come in the form of your medical records, your active duty medical records, any civilian doctors that you've seen, any VA doctors that you've had contact with. You have to gather those medical records and file your claims. To file your claim, you can go to va.gov, and they have a step-by-step instructions on how to get your claims filed. But as a novice, you should, and I recommend that you do, seek help with an accredited VA representative called a VSR. And they can file your claims. You have your records and you have all of this medical documentation in front of you, but do you know how to turn it into compensation? No. These VSRs are totally free. They don't get paid for their services, and they can help you file your claim and get the most out of your compensation.
And like I said, our next week's show, we're going to actually have another subject matter expert on that'll be discussing on how to actually file the claim, when to file the claim, and talk about all that. So if you're watching today, we telling you these are the things that you can be receiving. And then next week, we're going to tell you how to learn how to get there and file those claims. So one of the things that, that I think a lot of people are kind of, I guess, probably want to know is, what are some of the benefits of, we talk about the medical aspect of it, but what are some other benefits that the VA offers?
Are you mean directly related to being disabled, or because having a disability does open the doors for other benefits, but some of the other benefits that are not related to disability are life insurance. You can convert your SGLI to VGLI and there's a tight time frame for the conversion if you're active duty going into civilian, but there's the life insurance that you can carry with you, just like SGLI. There is education benefits, several education benefits. Post 9/11, Montgomery has one for active duty, one for select reserve. There's a DEA for dependents and spouses of a disabled veteran. VRNE is a support service benefit for disabled veterans. You don't have to be but 10%, and they do include education benefits with VRNE also. They'll pay for your college. And then there's a home loan guarantee benefit. You bought a house, you didn't pay a down payment, you have the VA to thank for that. Praise God. So lots of benefits to, you know, for veterans to enjoy. And I could go on and on all day about some of the benefits for veterans, but the fastest way to check everything out is going to va.gov. That is the go-to website for all VA benefits and services. And you can explore. And I suggest that if you don't have a login account with va.gov, you should create one as soon as possible.
Now, does the veteran or the individual, or can, you know, a spouse check in on this information?
You also can check in on this information as a spouse. Absolutely. And I can also offer one-on-one assistance sessions for spouses, family members, couples that are coming in together, veterans. If you want to get my contact information, I can absolutely have a one-on-one assistance session with you and let you know everything. Any questions that you need answered.
Good.
How would they get it? Would they just email you to set something up with you?
Yes, they can email me through my Caliber email address, or they can call 571-461-8471.
What was the last four?
8471.
Anthony, you gonna put that across the screen here?
I'm gonna add it on the screen.
Thank you.
So there's the phone number right there.
That's it.
So if anybody need it, please get in contact with her. All right, we got a question here. Does the VA have an answer for the DD 214 backup for newly retired who need their 214 for some of these benefits?
They actually, yes, you can go to, if you're newly retired, absolutely. There is on va.gov, go to the records section and follow the link to request your DD 214. They'll mail you a copy. You have to create a DS Logon account for va.gov if you don't already have one. If you're newly retired, I bet you do. So go request it in the records section. It's in the benefits index area on va.gov. The benefits index area is just that little menu bank underneath the picture, because va.gov is just one home page, but everything is a link from there. So go to the benefits index area and click on the records section and request your DD 214.
Yeah, actually, I can bring it up. And then
Okay.
And the website is easy to navigate, or
It's very user friendly. Nothing like eBenefits was. So anything concerning VA, there we go. Anything concerning VA is on this homepage, and everything. If you just, move your cursor across, these links light up everything. So underneath the picture, there's the benefits index area. There's records right up top. Okay.
Right there, get your VA medical records, download your benefit letters, change your address, request military records.
Request military records.
So this is really a one-stop, like you can get everything from right here.
You absolutely can.
And just go in there and it basically give you a walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And is this where you can find your like when you were talking about the specialist, like the veteran specialist to assist?
Yes, there's contact information and eligibility information on each of these benefits. When you click on, say, under healthcare, you click on apply for VA healthcare or see your test results. It'll take you to, there's also a separate a healthcare website called My Healthy Vet. So you can check your eligibility. You're going to need the tax information and income information, social security numbers for people in your family, and apply for VA healthcare right here on the page. And scroll down a little bit further, Maranthony, please. The second column from the left where it says find a VA. Let me see where it says that.
Accredited claims representative.
Yes. You can also find a VSO wherever you live. Mm-hmm.
So really, no one really has this excuse or need to procrastinate when like the information is here, ready.
Right at your fingertips. It sure is. It's right there. But you know, a lot of people like to have face-to-face. They like to have face-to-face assistance. So regional offices are there for that reason also. So if you don't, you're not computer savvy, you don't want to make any mistakes on the applications, you can still go to a regional office. And there's regional offices in every state except New Hampshire. And New Hampshire is small enough where you can go to the next state over and still not even drive 50 miles. So there is no excuse.
Here we got a question for you.
Okay.
Say you work in hospice, which means a person has to forego their aggressive treatment needs. However, if a person has VA, they can do hospice with Medicare and aggressive treatment with VA called concurrent care. All right. Thanks for the info, Anthony.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then somebody else put it on here. And the Navy has a crazy DD-214 backup right now.
I've seen that and I've heard that. I saw that actually on the Veteran to Veteran info page, where there was a lot of backlog for retirees and separatees from the Navy. And I don't know what's going on with that, but
yeah, actually, I was teaching a class, and one of the personnel specialists came in there, and they was talking about it, about all the stuff that was going on. But right now, yes, they are trying to fix it. And I know one of the questions they was talking about TRICARE as well, because TRICARE need that DD-214, and it's basically the same thing, just like how how you were talking about. This is what you can do in regards to if you don't have the DD-214. So. Everybody know that it's an issue. I'm quite sure a lot of senators probably have received a whole bunch of inquiries about it. So it is a true issue that's out there. So, but they are trying to work on it.
okay.
So we're gonna take a little break right here, and then once we come back, got a couple more questions for you. So.
Okay.
I'm going to jump in this break.
All right.
So we're back. So on that slide right there, during that little transition right there, we changed. We were supposed to have entrepreneurship last week. That right there, I was on travel, so didn't get a chance to get that show in. But we have pushed that back probably to a September time frame. So if anybody that's looking for learning about how managing and operating their own business, going into that entrepreneurship, please join us in September whenever we run that one. And then, like I said, next week, we're going to be actually talking about the disability forms and how to, so just in case, of course, we're going to tell you to make sure you go out there and deal with some people who's reputable. But at the same time, you want to also know what you're putting down on those forms as well, and make sure you got the best fighting chance for yourself. So with that being said, when we start talking about the benefits themselves, is there a way to, I guess, transfer it, or what benefits can we transfer to family members, if any?
Well, while we're still alive, we can transfer our education benefits to our family members. We can transfer post 9/11 specifically to your spouse and your children, but there's eligibility requirements, there's time and service requirements, because it's a DoD retention tool, the transfer of eligibility. And you can go to Meal Connect and do that if you have 6 years on active duty and re-enlist for 4 more for a total of 10. If you already have 10 years, you have to re-enlist for another 4 years for a total of 14 to transfer these benefits. So the earlier you start, which is the 6-year mark, the better. Once you transfer your benefits, you can go on Meal Connect. You can move those months around because post 9/11 is very flexible. It's 36 months, 3 years, so many weeks. I'm not going to math, and so many days. So you can transfer days, weeks, months, and of course 3 years.
Okay.
But if something happened, okay, another one. We don't have to be deceased, but 100% permanent and total. There's a lot of benefits that our family members can apply for, or you can apply for your family members, such as the Civilian Health and Medical, or CHAMP VA, which is VA insurance for family members. And then there's also the DEA education benefit for spouses and children of 100% permanent total. The only other way you can receive these benefits is to be missing in action or deceased.
And I would tell any and everybody I am a proud recipient of that DEA. That GI Bill, it was exhausted out, and next thing you know, the DEA picked it up. Son wound up graduating debt free. So I would tell anybody to make sure you take advantage of these benefits that's out there. You know, I think you mentioned earlier whenever you say some people don't think that they are deserving of this, because whenever we start thinking about, going to the VA, you start thinking about somebody who's probably been lost a limb or something like that.
Right.
And it's really not all about that. You serve just like everybody else serves. So
That's
why
true.
not go in there and get these benefits? It's just like collecting unemployment. Once
Right.
people leave the military, the first thing they'd be like, well, I'm not going to go down there and get unemployment because I don't deserve it. Well, are you sure about that? I mean, so that is just one of them benefits that's offered to people, and some people just might not think that they deserve it. So,
And I'm gonna tell you from firsthand experience, the VA they really do take good care of veterans. They take good care of veterans, and this is from firsthand experience. And it's the way, because I've been enrolled in VA healthcare since 2009. For the last 3 years, I've opted out of my job-based insurance. I have never needed anything other than VA healthcare. A couple of surgeries, my mental health care, all of that I've had with VA, and I couldn't ask for better care. It was better than what I had in the military, because the military is mission oriented. Okay, it's like you don't need to go to a sick call. You don't need to be doing all that. It's time to go. The Army, I work with the Army. We got to go to the field. We got to go to JRTC. We got to deploy. We got to do this. Ain't no time. The VA is not like that. Where you got to go? Back to work. Call them, tell them you're going to be late. That's good. That's good. Okay. And there's comprehensive health care, everything that you need, full service. And they really do want you to apply for these benefits because you did earn them through your military service.
Well, as a spouse, how do we kind of coach our veteran spouses into, filing claims, seeking out services, resources? Because, personal, like my spouse is like, I've served my time, and he's the type of individual that's like popping medications, bad knees, loss of hearing, sight, 2 heart surgeries. And
you can call that number that I gave to Maranthony, and we can have a one-on-one assistance session, and we can talk about it. If I can't convince him, then someone in my office may be able to talk to him. Is a combat veteran? He's a combat veteran?
No.
No combat veteran?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, It's a combat veteran. He's a
Okay.
combat veteran.
He's a combat veteran. Yeah, he can talk to someone in my office. If I can't talk to him and can convince him that his service earned these benefits and take full advantage of them, then maybe another combat veteran can. So I can put him in touch with someone who is in a like-minded situation.
So
Thank you.
whenever you say a combat veteran, what can you kind of break that down? What does that mean?
They served in a combat zone. No matter if they had bullets whizzing about their heads or they were the ones shooting, if they were in a combat zone, and combat zones are, if you serve on a ship, especially Navy, combat zones are every time that ship hits a body of water, it's hostile territory. Every time that was it battle group, that's combat service. That's combat service. And we've been, let's see, in a combat readiness situation, America has since 2001. So if he served in 2001 up until present, he's a combat veteran.
And that's why I wanted to get that out there, because a lot of people be like, well, my service member or my veteran, they didn't go anywhere. But at the same time, of course they say boots on the ground. They want boots on the ground, kicking doors in Iraq and things like that. So wanted to make sure everybody understood what that really meant.
If you serve during America's all of our wars and battles and conflicts, you're a combat veteran. Definitely.
So let's clear up another myth here, because a lot of people, everybody want to strive for that 100%. Everybody want to strive for 100, but not everybody get that 100. And we understand, hopefully everybody out there understand that whenever we look at VA math, it's not like everybody else math. So, you looking at your claim and you get a rating of 30% for PTSD, and then you got another one for your knees and this, and you thinking, all right, then I got all of these numbers and it's going to equal up to 100. It ain't nothing like that.
Yeah, because you're going to stop at 90. Okay. Getting to 100% is difficult. It's a difficult task, and it's going to maybe take years and a lot of effort. So if you got 30, you're not at 90%. I can guarantee you that, because VA math is not an addition. It's not a math problem. It's like toilet paper math. It's hard to figure out. What VA does is they combine your ratings to come to their decision. And because I'm not a claims agent, but I can tell you that getting to a certain combination, the largest rating, say it's 50%, and then you get another one for 30, and you get another one for 10. So the 50% stands, and then the 30 may stand, but the 30, depending on what those disabilities are for, say the 50% is for PTSD and the 30% is for sleep apnea without a CPAP, and then 10% for hearing loss. Okay, those are three different disabilities, one for mental health, one for internal, and one for physical health. So the VA is not going to add those together. What they're going to do is combine them. So your 50, your 30, and your 10 may equal 74. And it's going to round off to 70. So you're going to be 70% disabled. The best way to raise your numbers, if you feel like you deserve more or your disabilities aren't getting better, then you have to enroll in VA healthcare and you get care for the disabilities that you are getting paid for. So there'll be a paper trail of you going to therapy, a paper trail of you seeking help for all of those disabilities. And say one or two of those disabilities is not getting better, PTSD. You can file for an increase on your PTSD. As long as you have those records that you are trying to get, you're seeking help, you're taking the medications, you're working the program, you're going to these clinics, trying to help yourself out, but doesn't always, like I said, your mental, it's tricky. And Stephanie can tell you that as a therapist, she can tell you that it's tricky. You can be up one day and down the next. There's no guarantee you're going to get better. But anything, as long as you're above ground, anything can set it off to make it worse.
Now, what if the veteran is going in seeking services or requesting like a reevaluation, and the doctor, psychiatrist are saying there's no medical necessity? Like, would you encourage them to continue to like seek new providers? Like, if things are not.
One thing the VA provider cannot, a VA provider will not put their job in jeopardy to give you a recommendation for a higher rating. Okay, it has to be based on their notes. So you can, if you're enrolled in VA healthcare, you can go and request those notes to use as supporting documentation. And you can go and ask after a couple of days after your appointment, I need those notes from my appointment last week. Okay, what they say. And they say everything from the way that you came in. Were your shoulders back? Was your head up high? Or were you slumped down? Were your clothes clean? Were they wrinkled? Did you smile at all? Or did you cry during the entire appointment? All of those things are in those notes, those physician notes, because they document everything. So look at your notes. Okay. And this is not to scam the system or anything like that. People are hurting out here. They're hurting out here. Mm-hmm. So if you're hurting out here and it's hard for you to go to work, it's hard for you to be out in the community and society, file a disability claim for compensation. Help you get the care that you need and the compensation.
You know, and since we're talking about this, it's just amazing to me. Every time you go and you're driving down the road and you see somebody with a sign that say veteran, please help. But we have all these different things, these different programs out here to help people. And so for me, what I'm gonna start doing myself, I'm like, hey, I'll pull up to the side and be like, you got DD 214? I'll take you down to the VA. Let's go and get you some help. Because I hate for I understand, sometimes some people doing it for that I feel sorry for me fact. But at the same time, I'm here to make sure you get the help and the assistance that you need. And so that, for me, that's how, it's not, trying to be sarcastic or nothing like that, but that's how I would say, you know what, there's so many programs that's out there for you that's looking to assist people. So why don't we go and get the help that you might need? So that, like I said, that's just me.
There is a homeless veteran program within the VA. Anyone who is interested, if you know someone who is a veteran or you yourself, there's a possibility that you may become homeless or you're currently homeless right now. The VA has a warm handover to get you the support and services that you need. And every state has these capabilities, every state. So the help is there if you need it. You just have to ask, because one thing the VA is not tracking is the people on the side of the road. There's no way, there's no capability that they have that they can actually do that. You have to go to them. And once you do, you'll be straight.
So one thing I heard you did mention, you talked about vocational rehab. Mm-hmm. Can you explain voc rehab a little bit?
Okay, yeah. Voc rehab is a support services. It helps you find meaningful and sustainable employment if you are a service-connected disabled veteran. If you are still currently on active duty and you're getting out through IDES, if you're med boarding, you have to have a 20% disability rating. If you're a veteran right now, then you don't only have to have a 10% disability rating to apply for voc rehab benefits. They help you find a job. They have resume writing services. If you can't stand for a long time in a job, they'll find you a job where you can sit down. You can't sit down for a long time. They'll provide you with some kind of employment that's going to fit your disability and not aggravate it. On top of that, they have education benefits that I'm gonna let you know they don't even touch post 9/11. Post 9/11 is this bright and shining star with VA as far as education goes. But Voc Rehab, they changed their name to Veteran Readiness and Employment now, but it's still the same program, and it is outstanding. It is outstanding. So it's another benefit that you can apply for on VA.gov.
All right. So people, the benefits are there. So it's all about you
See what
reaching
I
out.
can get.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
VA.gov.
definitely that caregiver stipend.
Well, tell the folks about that.
Caregiver stipend. The caregiver stipend. If you're a disabled veteran, and you have a disability that requires you to have assistance and aid from possibly a spouse or a parent, or sometimes these kids come back and help you out a little bit, but don't count on it. But hey, the caregiver stipend is there if you need that help. So the caregiver, being that family member, can help you with your day-to-day living. They can make sure that you go to your VA appointments, make sure that your medication. It's just like a what do you call it? A home health nurse, but it's your family member. They stay there, but they get paid. It's not an employee relationship with the VA, but they do get compensation. They're also eligible for the Civilian Health and Medical Program, which is the VA insurance for health insurance for dependents. There's counseling, because taking care of grown people is a hard thing to do. And there's also training to take care of the veteran. If their disability is physical, their disability is mental, you're going to need support. You're going to need support. What the caregiver program does is provide that support in order to make sure that you and your veteran are provided for. You also are eligible to receive identification card. It's called the Veterans Health ID card, or VHIC. You can get one of those and still be able to access, you don't have TRICARE, you can access military installations and shop at the commissary, PX, and also have MWR privileges as well. And this is just to be able to shop for the veteran. Go to the commissary and get some groceries, make sure they're eating healthy. Lots of programs out here. But I'm telling you, if you go to VA.gov, you don't have to sign in to look. You can just go and just start clicking. If you're lost, you don't know where there's a VA facility closest to you, there's a Find a VA Location tab right at the top of the page where you can click on it, find your regional office, find an intake site that has VSOs to help you file your claims. It's all there, one-stop shopping.
Now, I was forwarded a text message about a Navy wife who was convicted of filing a claim for their spouse, and the spouse did not know anything about it. But so there are some people that's out there that's up to no good that's doing some of these things.
Oh,
yeah. So the spouse and the daughter, they concluded, and they went in there and they put the father or her husband put his name down there and started. They made up documents and everything, and they was actually getting money from the VA. And like I said, the veteran didn't know anything about it. So some wild stuff that go on out there. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful with that stuff too.
It is.
And I got one last thing as far as myths go. If somebody say, because we're talking about the 20, the 30, the 50, 100%, but if somebody got a rating of 0%, is that good or bad?
It's good. It's good. Not for collecting money, but you're connected. You're connected. So a 0% service connected rating, there's no compensation involved. But say the VA says, yeah, it's not payable, but it could get worse. There's an opportunity because of that service connected. It could get worse. So if you get service connected at 0%, it still opens the doors for other benefits, free healthcare. That because sometimes if you don't have a disability, depending on your income, whether you have other insurance, you may have a copay for VA healthcare, but you never have that monthly premium. That's not applicable. But say you have a really good job and you have other insurance provided by a spouse or something, you may have a copayment, maybe $15 to $75 is the way they were ranging 2021. I haven't checked 2022 stats, but around that area. But 0% always has the opportunity to become 10%, 20%. As long as you're service connected and they recognize that as a service connection, it has the opportunity to become worse. So getting that 0%, enrolling in VA healthcare, and whatever that disability is not bad enough to warrant compensation. But if you're seen for it and it becomes worse, then it will be a payable disability.
I know a lot of people, man, I only got 0%, and then they upset about it. Like, hey, but you know what? And just like how you explained it, hey, it's out there. It's
out
something
there.
that's noted.
Yes,
it's noted. So as long as it's noted, that's the best thing in the world that can happen. Yes, you might not be getting money for it, but at the same time, you mentioned one thing, and especially when we start talking about employment. Whenever I go and if I got anything from the VA, meaning I can go to the VA for an appointment, whenever it's time for that employer to offer me any type of, hey, here's our medical package or anything like that. Well, I really don't need your medical package. So is there any kind of way we can negotiate this money back into my paycheck?
back into your pay.
So that is some of the benefits that we see from using the VA. And like I said, I'm a recipient of the VA. And what other medical place or what other benefit do you have as far as medical go? Whenever I need to go to the doctor, they pay me to go to the doctor. I don't know anybody. Yeah, I get my travel money on, and I don't know anybody else that do something like that. So
there isn't.
So I'm happy. I'm ecstatic that I do have a VA and they taking care of me.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
And I'm gonna get on it.
We're gonna get Stephanie on it. We're gonna get on it.
And this spouse.
So people out there, if you've been thinking about it, we're gonna touch on it on our next show. But at the same time, and I know Stephanie before the show, she had mentioned as far as people, they've been out for 10 years. Can they still sign up?
They can sign up for anything. There's no time limit to sign up on any VA benefit. The only thing that has a 10-year limitation is the Montgomery GI Bill. But I don't want to get into that. But hey, you got 10 years to use your Montgomery, and that's it. There's no time limit to sign up for health care, filing a claim. There's no time limit.
All right. Yeah, I know. I actually was working with someone, and I think her father was in like one of the Vietnam War or something like that, and they were still trying to do claims and stuff for him. So please, it's a benefit that you've earned. So go out there, sign up, see what happens.
My uncle was a Korean War veteran, and he didn't file a claim till he was like 82 years old. He got 100%, and it took a year. It took over a year, but the VA has a legal obligation to search for those records, no matter where they are. They will, if they find them, then you're in there.
Never too late. Never too late.
Never too late. That's right.
Didn't they have a song about that?
No, it's never too much.
Oh, never too much. Okay. And that's even better, son. Never too much.
Never. That's true.
All right,
yeah.
So we are approaching our the end of this show right here. So I will turn it over to Sonya. If you have any parting words, whatever it is, if you want to leave our viewers.
Yeah, take us out, Sonia.
Take it out. Okay. It was something that I was talking to my children the other day. It was my daughter's birthday, and she passed away in 2013. And we were celebrating her and thinking about her legacy that she left behind. And we came up with a little slogan that we're gonna use as our go-to thing. Feeling down, feeling bad, feeling uncourageous. Don't stop until you're proud. People can tell you that they're proud of you all the time, but don't stop until you're proud, till you're satisfied, till you're happy. And that's what I have to say.
Okay.
Awesome.
Miss Steph?
Yeah, I couldn't come up with anything, so it's just never too late, never too late.
And never too much.
Never too much. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Anthony? What you gonna take us out with?
I'm gonna give you two of them. This is from I'm a big avid fan of T.D. Jakes in his book. So one of his books he put in the Don't Drop the Mic book. He said the promise of practice means using what you already know to discover what you don't. And right now, I think that was like pretty relevant to this show right here, because a lot of people know a lot of things about the VA, but the stuff that you don't know about the VA, hopefully it's going to make you go ahead and sign up, and so you can go and get some of these benefits that's out here for you.
Yeah.
And the last one I got for you is, you never know when an opportunity will become a threshold of destiny. So use that to springboard off to go into your destiny with this one right here.
I like it.
All right.
So that is our show, and like I said, next week we're gonna have Miss Treadeth on here, and she'll be giving us how to fill these forms out, and we'll jump in a little bit more about how to not only fill the forms out, but kind of what even to look for, because certain things, and Sonya mentioned a few times on here, and I was gonna get into it with the secondary thing. We always look for the primary issues, but there are some things. And, like you had mentioned if my left knee is bad and I go get surgery on it, guess what? I overcompensated on that right knee. So I'm quite sure I might have some problems with that one right there next. Or what about my hip? So we start looking at some of them secondary type injuries that we might have. So, we'll discuss a little bit of that next week on our show. So with that being said, hey, I would like to say thank you, Sonya, for joining us. And I hope everybody I hope everybody gets a lot of information out of this, and please pass this on. Don't sit up on the information. Pass the information out to somebody else so they can be beneficial. This information can be beneficial to them as well.
So that they can benefit.
Yes,
And
so
be the
everybody can benefit.
All about the benefits, baby.
Show me the money.
where the money reside.
Where the money reside.
Hey,
What a
y'all,
good show.
hey, y'all, everybody have a good one, and we out of here.